Hi everyone, it's Michelle from FireFit here. Today we're going to be doing some activities based on psychedelic art. So we'll be using paint and pastels to be making psychedelic patterns, tie-dye, and a few other abstract art pieces with bright colours, swirly patterns. So we'll just give a few minutes for everyone to join us on the live, and then I'll run through what equipment we need and what type of activity we'll be doing first. So we'll just leave a few minutes for everyone to join. Hi everyone, so we'll make a start now. We'll be working with some psychedelic art today using paints and pastels. We'll be making psychedelic patterns with bright colours. We'll need a cover to put down on the surface just because it could get quite messy, some white paper and some different coloured cards just for trying different effects, a range of acrylic paint. Bright colours will do. You don't need as many colours as this, just as long as you've got 3 colours, it should still work. A water pot and paintbrushes, and a bigger paintbrush but that's flat, so one like this. And then different coloured pastels. And first we'll start on making a tie-dye pattern with pastels. So I've got rainbow colours here, but any colours will do as long as they're 3 different colours or more than 3. I'll move this cover away for now, just because we're using pastels, any of the little creases, or if you're using newspaper, any of the creases on that will show up on the paper. So it's good to do it on a flat surface, but be careful because it can get quite messy. So starting in the middle, draw a little dot using the first colour. Like this. And then around the dot, we're going to be making some lines, but jagged lines and different lengths. So something like this to start with. And then move on to your next colour. And we're going to go over the lines that we've already made, but just the very ends of the lines. And we're going to go into the white creases with the new colour. And if we just go over the very ends of the lines that you already made, it should start to smudge together. We should press quite hard when we're using pastels, because if you don't press hard enough, it comes out a bit patchy. And then from the second colour, draw some more lines, like this. And then move on to the third colour. And same technique again, just blend over the lines and create new lines. And try to keep it circular. If you only have 3 colours, then go back to the first colour, but I'll be using all the rainbow colours, so I'll move on. As we go along, just make sure all the white spaces are filled with colour. You don't want to leave any white spaces. I'm just going to keep doing this, moving through all the colours until I get to the edge. Oops. Maybe don't press too hard because it might snap like that. So just stick with it. It gets a little more difficult as we get further out because there's more colouring involved. But just stick with it and still try to draw these lines that are coming out from the circle. That colour was quite dark, so I'm going to go back over with the blue just to blend it. So you get the idea. And we'll just carry on until all the white is full up. But this might take too long as we're live. I'll stop now. But yeah, just carry on until the white is filled up, with tie-dye, and then we have a nice psychedelic drawing. So we'll have a little minute break because we'll be moving on to paint now. So just a few minutes for everyone to get ready and get a new piece of paper, clear the desk, put the pastels away, and then we'll move on to paint. We'll be recreating something similar to what we've just made, but with paint. And I like this technique better. I think it's more effective. So we'll just give a few more minutes, a few more seconds, sorry. Using a little brush like this, we're going to start in the center again. Make sure something's covering the table. Start with a little dot in the centre and make a spiral. We're just going to do dots for now, just to map out. And following the spiral round, we're going to move the dots like this. So push them out. It's hard to explain, but I'll show you once I've started. I'm using pastel colours, so I want it quite light and washed out. So I'm using water with the paint and I'm not laying it on too thick. And as we get further around, we're going to be using the bigger brush like this. It's just a lot faster once we get a bit further out to use the bigger brush. And in random places around the spiral, make the lines a bit longer. And then outside of the first spiral, we'll start again with a new colour. We want to blend it into the first spiral. So instead of going right next to it, we're going to merge it a little bit like this. So we're actually going over the very ends of the first spiral. And you don't wait for the first spiral to dry. You want the paint still wet so it blends. And the more water you mix with the paint, the better it blends. And then we'll carry this on with a new colour. I want pastel colours, so I'm trying to keep them light. And then the last colour. So I'll just wash my hands and give everyone a few minutes to set up and clean the desk. So I'll wait a few more minutes just for everyone to clean up and get a new piece of paper, maybe clean the water pot. Mine isn't too messy, but the next method we're going to use is similar to screen printing. So we'll need an old piece of cardboard and a few different colours of paint. This is just an abstract way to make a psychedelic pattern, and you don't really know what it's going to look like. Sometimes it turns out good, sometimes not so good, but that's the fun really. So the first way we'll do it is get your paintbrush, and 3 different colours should work well. You'll probably need a few pieces of paper for this because it doesn't work every time, but most times it does. We're going to make little blobs of paint at the top in all different colours. And after every time you've added a colour, just wash the brush and give it a little wipe. And just do very random blobs of paint. They don't need to be the same size or anything like that. I've gone rainbow colours again, but I will try a few different colours. Sometimes it looks nice with just 2 colours, but for now we'll just try this. Again, make sure that you've got a cover on the table. You need to rip off some cardboard, and where you've done the dots, you're going to put the cardboard over the top like this, not underneath, over the top, and drag it down. And then just drag the cardboard That one wasn't too bad, but I'll try it again. That could be used as a background, and then you can draw over the top, draw a pattern or flowers or anything you want. This time I'm not going to do the dots at the top, I'm just going to do them random on the page. Bright colours work nice. Wasn't enough left still there. This time I'll do again a spiral like the tie-dye, and then I'll drag it with the cardboard. So this is just a fun way to make abstract patterns. It might not always come out exactly how you want it, but sometimes you'll get a pattern that works really well. That's a nice like tie-dye one, I quite like that. And then you can always go in with the pastels. If you don't mind your pastels getting a bit messy, you can actually blend them in with the paint, and then you can always break the part off that has paint on it. Hopefully it doesn't snap. And then just go around the paint like you did with the first one. So like spiky, spiral. And just try and fill up any white space that there is with the pastels. because it's the last one, we'll get really messy and add some more water to it. I really like that one actually. So that's all we're going to look at today for the techniques. So I hope you've enjoyed. They're just abstract techniques really that are quite fun. You don't really need to look perfect, don't need to worry about the outcome. Quite messy and hands-on. But if you persevere with it and keep trying, have a lot of paper so you can keep trying new ideas, you can produce some nice results with it. So I hope you've enjoyed that, and if you make some of these paintings at home, please send them to us at FireFit. We'd love to see them. But see you in a few days, we'll be doing a new art lesson. So thank you for that.